Hello again, Pulver Silva Nation. It's me, Pulver Silva 101, and today's been a fantastic day. We did my son's birthday party today. He turned 4 Thursday, the 16th, but we waited until today to do the party. Thursday was great. Basically, this week he just got to do whatever he wanted to do, and I appreciate all the happy birthdays, and I showed him that his name was, right there in the comment section, he noticed actually before I did, and I told him that people were telling him happy birthday. So I want you guys to know that he appreciated it, and so did I. Thank you to everyone that wished my son a happy birthday. Moving on to the next card, the UFC on Fuel card. It was a good card for free, but had that been on pay-per-view, it would have been another, Jones Silva, or I'm sorry, guy facing Jones at 145. Evans, yeah, Evans Silva situation where it was Rashad and the guy that played the fucking bongos on Brandon and Bear's back. One of the Silvas, a really aggressive striker too. Shame I can't remember his goddamn first name. What the hell is his name? Think of it, just put it down there because we got some stuff to get into here. UFC 144. Going back to Japan for the first time in a very, very long time. The last card I actually watched, I think, Tito Ortiz. I think that's where he won his belt, if I'm not mistaken. I know that he at least defended it there um, against someone who's no longer in the organization. Anyway, UFC 144. You'll notice that I'll skip through a couple of fights. We're going to get to most of the fights and most of the fight card, but there's going to be two or three that I'm going to skip. I even included the FX cards. My picks. I'd love to hear your picks. If you agree, disagree. I'm extremely interested in some of these fights. I think it's going to be a great card. I can't wait to buy the pay-per-view. Um, you know, no more streaming for me. So I'm going to go pay-per-view from now on, and it's going to be a hell of a party because, this is a great card. Another thing, UFC on Fuel 2 is Gustafsson versus Lil Nog, and I can't wait for that. That's going to be an epic battle. I think Gustafsson is way, way, way underrated. Underrated ground game, underrated striking. I think he could very, very well be the next up and comer. Like I saw before. There's a million John Jones out there. It's just that they haven't been found yet. Anyway, it's nice to wind down and talk to you guys about what I love and what you love, mixed martial arts, and the king of MMA organizations, the UFC. 144. So in Japan, we have Takeya Mitsugaki taking on someone I've never seen him fight. Carizio. I don't know. I think he may be a tough alumni. I'm not sure, but in this fight, I'm going to go Mitsugaki. Just because they both love to stand and bang. I have seen him fight before. I do remember his name and I do remember his face. I just can't pronounce his name. They both are strikers, and I'm interested in that match, and that's free on FX, and that starts at 8 in the Eastern time. Not sure at the Western time. Next, we have Kid Yamamoto versus Von Lee. Another interesting bout where in this fight I'm going to have to go Von Lee. Just my prediction. If you don't agree, then go ahead and drop it down. Kid's 18-5 now. Von Lee's 11-7 with either one draw or one no contest. And Von Lee's been, to me he's an excellent fighter, and not just an excellent fighter, but he's technical and comes in there with strategy and game plan, and I just think Kid's is maybe a little past his prime. So I'm gonna go with Von Lee. Next up on the card, of course, you have to throw Takanori Gomi in a Japanese card. He hasn't looked good as of late, especially when he joined the UFC. I think he had one win, and it was over Tyson Griffin. Oh, it was. And it was that epic fucking knockout, that faceplant knockout. I didn't see that coming. I had Tyson Griffin all day. I would have bet on that fight, and Gomi put him to sleep. So, in that fight, I'm undecided. I'm sincerely undecided, as is the next one, Joe Lazon versus Anthony Pettis. Pettis was the last UFC lightweight or WC lightweight champion. Everyone remembers him challenging Benson Henderson for his title and the 5-round epic war. But I think what really won in the fight was what's now known as the super kick, the Pettis kick, the off the fence spinning ninja fucking kick that he did that hasn't been. I think I've seen someone tried it. I think John Jones tried it in practice or something like that, and it looks sloppy, but he did it. It's just he didn't do it, the 5th round of a title fight, and probably sway every single judge to Pettis' favor. But when he comes to the UFC, he was promised a title shot, and that got kind of swept out from underneath him, and he hasn't looked really good. I think Guida put him in his place. He lost a title shot. Or he lost a lot of recognition because of it. But he's still dangerous. Joe Lazon has been on a goddamn tear. I've always liked Joe Lazon. He was on season 5 of The Ultimate Fighter. I had Manny Gambarian picked to win that, who I also think is extremely overrated. Just my opinion. I think he's extremely overrated. He should have never stepped in the cage with Jose Aldo. I don't know in what parallel universe did he deserve to be in there with Jose Aldo. A title shot for him? Jose Aldo, they couldn't find anyone else but Manny Gambarian. Why? Because he knocked out Mike Brown? Mike Brown took out Uriah Faber. Not once, but twice. But here's the thing. This is a fact. Uriah broke both of his hands in the first round of the rematch and fought with elbows. And if you look at the fight, the guy was literally fighting like chicken winging, throwing everything he could with elbows, almost like he said at the end, his weapons were gone. Had he have had fists, I think he would have retained his at the time featherweight title. But Mike Brown did beat him twice, and a flash knockout from Manny does not warrant a fight with Jose Aldo. Neither did his other couple fights that got him there in the WEC. I don't understand. I do miss the WEC, by the way. I love my blue cage. It was on Versus. It was free. All the little guys, they love to scrap and bang. It was excellent. Let's move this fucking thing along. Okay. Yushin Okami. I'm surprised he's fighting again so soon after his title defense in Rio. I think UFC 140 was in Rio. Or was it the second time? I don't know. Whatever. I actually didn't watch it. I didn't pay too much attention to them going to Brazil. Sorry for the Brazilians. I wasn't interested in the card. I could pick a winner from a mile away, and it was all Brazilians, and I knew it was going to be. Okami and Tim Boach. I got Okami all day. Okay, and moving on to the main card here. The battle of must-wins. Jake Shields and Yoshihiro Akiyama. Akiyama, I think he has dropped 4 straight. Might be 3. I think it's 4. I think he dropped 4 straight. I think Belfort just knocked him out in his last outing. I think that was the 4th time that he's been knocked out. Jake Shields as well got knocked out by Jake Ellenberger in the Battle of the Jakes. So we'll see who wins this. I have Shields. I pick Shields. I like Shields in this fight. I think he can take Akiyama down. Akiyama is a judo black belt. But again, Shields isn't worried about anyone submitting him. He has no respect for anyone's jiu-jitsu or judo black belts or rankings or anything like that when it comes to groundwork. So I like Shields in this fight. Congo versus Hunt. This one's very simple. This one's going to break down very, very easy. If it goes past the first round, it's all Congo. If he doesn't kick Mark Hunt in the balls too hard and he can't continue. he has been known to kick people in the nuts. Why does he do that? He kicks people in the nuts like more often than any other fighter I've ever seen. So I'm going to go with Congo in this fight because I think he's going to outlast Mark Hunt in the end. Mark Hunt's 7-7. I don't know if a win would even do anything for his career or put him up there in any sort of echelon in anywhere in the heavyweight division, but it would, put Congo up there. So I like Congo in this fight. Hope he wins it. Okay, on to the co-main event. It's Rampage and Bader, and I got Rampage all day. Rampage, that's where he got his start in Japan in Pride. I loved him in Pride. His slam with Ricardo Almeida, knocking him out. His wars with Vanderlei Silva and flying through the ropes. I mean, Shogun absolutely dismantled him, and they were still epic fights. He beat up a lot of people, including Chuck Liddell. He was the first one to stop Chuck. Dana White actually put a $50,000 bet down that Chuck Liddell was going to win that Grand Prix, and Rampage put a stop to it. And he did it again in the UFC and took Chuck's belt. So I have Rampage all day long. I have Bader in there. In an earlier video, I listed my top 10 most overrated fighters, and Bader is most definitely in there, man. There's no argument. I think Bader is way overrated. Tito Ortiz, just slipped an uppercut and choked him out. First win in 6 years, only win in 6 years against Ryan Bader. Jones, same thing. He slipped a punch. He pulled guard and got caught in a guillotine. Seems to be his weakness is his striking, and he seems to wilt under pressure, and he doesn't like getting hit. Kind of like Brock Lesnar, who's also on my overrated list. Insanely overrated, Brock Lesnar. Insanely overrated. People thought this guy was like, what were they calling him? The baddest man on the planet. Fedor Emelianenko is the baddest man on the planet. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, there is a prime, and yes, people do pass their prime. And in his prime, Fedor Emelianenko was running through motherfuckers. 10 years undefeated, 39 wins in a row. Come on, man. To me, he's the pinnacle of mixed martial arts. His submissions are top notch. His striking's top notch. His sambo's top notch. Wrestling, jiu-jitsu, you name it, he's got it. He was at the top of the game for years and years and years, and I hope we talked about for years to come. I think Fedor is an absolute legend and not a myth. Yeah, Mike Goldberg calling him a myth was like my balls shrunk. I was so fucking angry that he made that fucking comment. That's just disgusting and disrespectful. What the fuck has he done? Literally, what the fuck? I think I saw him. And there's a YouTube video of him doing the news before he was actually a broadcaster for the UFC. So fuck that guy. Seriously, fuck you. I'm having a great day, but fuck him anyway. Bader, I don't think stands a chance in this fight at all. His movement, even King Mo said, it's just straight forward, straight backward. Rampage has all kinds of beautiful, lovely takedown defense. You see it displayed against Rashad Evans. You see him displayed against John Jones. He has excellent takedown defense and excellent hands, knockout power in both hands. Absolutely put Vanderlei to sleep. I think with a left hook and a right to follow just for good measure. On that overrated list, I can go on. There's Bader, Griffin, Miguel Torres. Another reason why I'm picking Mitsugaki to win, because they had that 5-round epic war in the WEC, and neither was able to put the other away, but it was an epic war. If you look at where they're at now, I think where MMA was back then may pay, it might have something to do with it, but yeah, I think he's overrated. Anyway, the main event, Frankie Edgar and Benson Henderson. I'm going Benson Henderson. If I were you, I'd lay some money down on Ben Henderson. I don't think anybody fights like that guy. If you saw the first Cerrone Henderson fight, then you understand what I'm talking about. If you haven't, go watch it now. If you need a link, just hit me up, send me a comment, or even a message in my inbox. I will send you a link to that fight. It's amazing. I thought he had him 20 or 30 times. I don't understand how he escaped those submissions, and thus he earned the name Bendo, and I think we're going to have a new lightweight champion at UFC 144 in Japan. He's also the underdog, so you can win some money, and I'm definitely placing my bet. I hope you place yours, and I definitely hope you tune in for the next video. Those are my predictions for UFC 144, and keep tuning in. My kid's birthday, so happy birthday, Elijah, and I love you all. Thank you very much, and I hope you all are having a great day.